Hooray. All righty. We'll come across to our mats. We'll come into an extended child pose. I'm going to get you to breathe initially through your mouth. So slack jaw. Soften the muscles between your eyebrows here, the muscles around your eyes. And I'm going to get you to pull the breath into the back of your lungs. And you want to go sort of, so long exhalation. So imagine sails opening and billowing with the breeze. That's what we're going to be focusing on, emulating. So knees bent, quite wide. If you need your blanket or your bolster underneath your bottom, do that, yeah, just so your bottom's not hanging in space. And I'm just going to get you to slide your fingers out nice and wide, slowly start to come down, stretching the vertebra one by one, elongating. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Just swivel your head from side to side. Keep the armpits opening towards the ground. And then soft mouth, slack jaw, very relaxed muscles around your eyes. Breathing in and out of your mouth. Allowing yourself to puff upwards on the inhale, almost like your back is a parachute lifting up slightly, and then as you breathe out, you're softening towards the ground. See if you can slow your breathing down a little bit. The little pause at the top of the breath in, like you're suspended in the air, and then the breath flows out and you sink. Expansion, soft contraction down. Beautiful. Slide your way up. I'm going to get you to expand your fingers. Roll your wrists one at a time. Place your hands down on the ground, nice and wide with your fingers. Take a moment to turn your hands and stretch the back of the wrists. Give them a flick. Now we're going to practice the sitting bones widening. Lift your bum and then draw the sitting bones together and gently tuck your tail. So my top's all baggy at the bottom. So as you round, you do scoop up through the lower belly, yeah? So you're not completely soft through the belly the whole time. You are here. And then as you bring your sitting bones towards each other, you lift upwards and round from your lower belly, right up through the rib cage, right up through the head, to the very crown of the head. Let your tail, your tailbone and your sitting bones lead this dance of movement through your spine. And then maybe adding a slow rock back and forward. If that feels all right on your cat and cow, almost coming back to that extended child. Now you might be pulling the breath in through the back of your nostrils, but keep that soft mouth. Keep breathing out through the jaw, softened, open mouth. It's almost a sigh out. The breath has a bit of noise to it, a low vibrational noise. Good. Now bring your tail up and then swirl the pelvis, and it's a slow swirl. So your tail is swirling around behind you. And then bring that swirling up around the rib cage. Hey Emma, hi. Nice to see you. Swirling from the tail through the rib cage and now into the shoulders. So we're getting the whole of the torso to mobilize right up into the shoulders. And maybe even just moving your head as well, a little bit behind the tail, the rib cage, the shoulders. And there's no kind of perfect way of doing this. It's just a pulse, an oscillation, a flow of movement, starting from the tail, starting from those sitting bones. Beautiful. Now take your right hand, give it a flick out. Keep your knees a little bit wide, hand on shoulder, elbow down. Take your bum down as you take your elbow down. And then breathe in and rotate. And then breathe out and release down. Breathe in, pulling the breath in through the back of your nostrils to exaggerate the opening of the lungs with the movement. Sigh each breath out. Ah. Good. We're going to hold it up here now. Keep breathing. Stretch your fingertips out away from you. Pull right up through those middle fingers. And then just turn your head gently down. Just pause here. Shoulders sliding down away from your ear. Leaving your arm in the back of the shoulder socket. And then nice loose wrists and soft fingers. Flow the arm up and back. So, like a windmill, but kind of fluid. Your fingertips are like paint brushes, flowing, painting the air. That's it. And then from here, we're just going to fold and thread this arm right underneath the left arm. Back of the shoulder pressing down towards the ground. Turn your head, looking out at your right hand. And just let it rest. Side of the head is resting on the ground. And we're going to breathe out and sink the bottom down slightly. You might stretch the left hand out in front of you. Lift your sitting bones. Lift and spread your sitting bones. And a little bit of pressure on the back of that arm. Breathing in. Sighing the breath out. Pressing the back of the right arm into the ground. Slide the left hand towards you. Push the floor away. Slowly stretch that right arm up and down. We're using the gate theory of, it's pain, but it's a gate theory of focus. So as our brain is focusing here to stretch, we've got our knees apart and we're actually doing a lot of stretching through the inner thighs as well. So let's do that on the other side. I might turn around to face you so you can see what I'm doing from this angle. Fingertips on shoulder, drop the elbow down. Fluidly opening the chest, rotating through the thoracic spine, exhaling. Inhale deeply, slowly. Exhale. Inhale to open. Exhale, sink down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now this time, push your shins into the ground, so your knees and your shins into the ground. Let that movement pulse right up into your elbow. So it's like you start this whole twist from your shins, your legs, then it rolls through the body. One more breath in. And then we'll hold it and start to send those fingertips up, right up through the middle fingers. So stretch your fingertips up. This goes right into this. It's called the lung 1 meridian, right down. Great for the lymph here, for the breast area. And then just turn your head, looking down. Draw your shoulder down away from your ears. Keep pulling out through those middle fingers. Breathing, and then we'll take this arm and we'll flow it backwards and let your fingernails kind of paint the air, really fluid. So you're feeling the connection from your fingernails right through your hands, through your wrists, through your elbows, into your shoulder, and then right down into your body, propelling you 40 to 80 trillion cells of condensed energy that make up this physical body of yours, and you're flowing through space. Leave the hand up for a moment and then float it down. Thread the needle, back of the arm onto the ground, turn the head, gently rest the head on the ground, and stretch those right fingers forward. Breathing in, breathing out to sink, knees wide, sitting bones wide, pressing the back of the left arm into the ground. Breathing in, expansion, breathing out to sink. Breathing in to lift and open, breathing out to soften. Just notice your jaw, give it a wriggle, and see if you can slacken your lower jaw away from your upper jaw. Very good. Sliding that arm up, and down. Beautiful. I'm just going to swivel back onto my mat, get rid of the blanket for a moment. Now, like a caterpillar, bum up in the sky, slide your chest onto the ground and just come and lie. One hand stacked on top of the other hand, forehead resting, and do a little window wipe with your heels. So heels out, heels in, push them down. Heels rolling out, toes in. Heels rolling in, toes out. So you're swiveling the top of your thigh bones in the hip sockets. Let your head be very heavy. Let your shoulders slide down away from your ears. Let your belly press into the ground as you inhale. Nice little massage for the internal organs on each exhale. And then just dropping those heels out and resting for a moment with a gentle jiggle with your hips from side to side. So just trying to kind of jiggle the jelly of your bottom. Jiggle, jiggle, very gentle. And just focusing on your breathing. So slow your breathing down. I'm going to invite you to take these next few breaths through your mouth. So slightly blocking your nostrils and slack jaw, slightly open mouth, slow breath in to expand the belly into the ground. Slow, long, sighing breath out. And then just stop jiggling your body and let your body be still. And just really focus on the sensations of your breathing and your body moving and expanding with your breath in and softening with your breath out. See if you can tune into the pulse of your blood pumping down into your belly. So you can feel that little pulse, the beating of your heart. Maybe feeling into your breathing, your breath flowing in and out. Now very slowly and slightly, turn your head to the right and draw your right elbow and your right knee towards each other. Hands down on the ground and stretch your left toes away and kind of move your left arm a bit higher than your head. So not stretching all the way, just a bit of movement, and then shuffle to the other side. So left elbow, left knee, draw towards each other, turning the head. And then back to the right side, elbow and knee drawing up, sliding, turning, shoulder coming up, stretching the armpit on the left side, and then back again. And sliding. This time, let's go a little bit more stretchy with the right fingers and toes away from each other. And then slide to the other side and draw the right elbow and knee a little bit closer. Open that right shoulder up towards the ceiling a bit more. And then now that you've got the rhythm, just kind of close your eyes and see if you can almost slide yourself into a twist with your head revolving around. And you stretch through fingers and toes. This time on the right side as we twist on the left side. Keep breathing. Breathe into the movement. Exhaling and then breathing in and exhaling. Beautiful. Now take your arms out in front of you, your toes away from you, and stretch. Fingertips on the ground, wrists up off the ground, toes stretching. Breathe to expand into your rib cage, opening your ribs underneath the armpits out to the sides. Good. And then I'm going to get you to slide your forearms out wide and pause with your elbows like a cactus out from your shoulders. And slide your right hand down to where your elbow was. Leave your left elbow out from your shoulder, left hand on the ground. Push your right fingers into the ground, and we're lifting up just like before, knee coming up. Just getting a bit of a different twist here because the left shoulder is draping down towards the ground. So we're stretching, stay where you are, stretching here, right into these pectoral muscles, the inside of your shoulder, opening here. So as we push up and turn our head, this side kind of drapes down towards the ground. Like that. And then flow to the other side. So this right elbow down on the ground, hand down on the ground, 90-degree angle here. Left fingers where left elbow was. Push the fingers into the ground. Press the ground away, lifting the head to look over the left shoulder, and then soften that right shoulder towards the ground. So if you get it, you'll be like, oh wow, that's a good stretch. But the elbow can't be high and it can't be too low. It needs to be 90 degrees straight out from your shoulder. And then down. Good. Let's come into Sphinx pose. So forearms just out in front of you, tops of the feet on the ground, hands wide. Pull the chest forward and roll through the upper back, right up through the head, and then soften down towards the ground. Tops of the feet on the ground, press them into the ground, lift your knees slightly up off the ground. Don't squeeze your bum. Keep pressing through the tops of the feet and feel that line of energy rolling up through your spine. As you draw your spine upwards, pull your forearms back, pushing down on the mat and pulling the forearms back. So it feels like your chest is almost being pulled forward. Good. And then pull your chin back. Give yourself a double chin. Pause. And then we'll roll back down again. We'll do that one more time. Tops of the feet, press into the ground. Knees suction upwards. And then flowing up. Lengthening the vertebra away from each other. Press down with your forearms. Pull the mat towards you. Lifting, opening. And you might even slide the hands out in front. Maybe come down slightly. Shin is in. And then flow down. One hand on top of the other. Toes in, heels out, rest. Open your mouth. Breathe in and out through your open mouth. See if you can create really soft cheeks. Soften the muscles between your brows and around your eyes. Slacken your jaw. And as you breathe in and out, see if you can make a bit of noise on the exhale. Sigh, sigh, sigh. It's a wonderful way to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest state. Now leave your left hand where it is. Slide your right shoulder up towards your ear and then all the way into the back of the socket and then down. So up towards your ear, back of the socket, squeezing the muscles between your shoulders and all the way down. So we want to activate the muscles of the upper back. Lift, roll, and now we're going to leave the arm in the back of the socket. So all the way back here. Bend your right knee, see if you can grab hold of your ankle or your foot, preferably if you can, ankle. So bring your knees wide if you need to. Rest your forehead, and we're just starting to press the front of the pelvis into the ground. So it's the same stretch as if you were standing, and we're doing that. We're pushing the pelvis forward. So we're going right here into the psoas and the quadriceps. Now we can trick this part of our body into releasing a lot more if you focus on releasing the muscles of your face. So go slack, like really soften your muscle fibers of the face. I'm going to invite you to now gently close your mouth and hum your breath out. So a buzzy bee hum as you press your pelvis down. It's almost like you're pushing your pubic bone and the bikini line into the ground. So breathe in slowly and deeply through the back of your nostrils. Take a pause at the top of the inhale and then buzzy bee breath out as you press the pelvis down into the ground. I like to slightly move the femur, the top of the femur, the top of the thigh bone from side to side. So it looks like the foot is moving from side to side, but I'm rolling from the hip joint, keeping the hip joint healthy, and we're rolling the stretch right over the front of your thigh. So right over your quadriceps, out to the side, and into the center. Beautiful. Just dropping that foot. Take a moment. Just notice how much longer that leg feels compared to the left leg. We'll swap sides. So rolling the left shoulder up towards your ears and then slide the arm into the back of the socket. Shoulder up, arm slides back, massaging the shoulder joint. And then leave it back and down, grabbing hold of your foot or ankle. Same thing, slacken your face, breathe in deeply, rest your forehead, hum your breath out like a buzzy bee hive, gently pressing the bikini line on that left side down towards the ground. Start to gently take the ankle from side to side. So you're moving your foot and you're rolling the stretch right over the whole of your thigh. This is wonderful. If you get lower back pain, this is a good one. Beautiful. Drop that leg down. Take your arms both back towards each other. So you're squeezing your shoulders together. Send your fingertips back. Chin is in. We're just going to pause here for a moment and then see if you can draw your hands up behind you towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulders. Draw your tummy button up towards your spine. And just take a moment to stretch your toes away from you. Fingertips pulling down towards your toes. And then see if you can just consciously activate all of the muscles of the back of your body so that they squeeze. So we lift up slightly off the ground. It might just be a little bit. And you're pulling your fingers and toes down back towards the wall behind you as you squeeze the back of your body, lifting up, and then turn your head to one side and go, and just collapse. Heels out, toes in. And imagine that you are a jellyfish and you've got no bones and you're just a pile of jelly kind of melting into the ground. Breathe in and go, as you breathe out. That extended exhalation with a bit of low vibrational sound is so powerful. It's such an incredible tool that we can utilize at any time to almost instantly calm a busy mind and signal the mind and the body to come into stillness. Oh, I could actually just stop right here, but we've got a bit more to do. Having a little mini rest, so let's take a moment. See if you can feel the prana, the life force, just tingling under the skin surface. Alrighty, slide your hands up under your shoulders. Draw your tummy button towards your spine. And then turn your head just to the other side for a moment. Tummy button back up towards the spine. And then push the floor away and draw yourself back into our extended child pose. The fingers on the ground, wrists off the ground. Stretch the spine. And then push your shins, so the bony bit, down into the ground, down, 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 and feel your body drawing upwards into a kneeling position. Roll those shoulders up and then down. I'm going to get you just to flow. Fingertips are painting the air, and you're kind of backward swimming, backstroke, but you're flowing. It's a bit more flowy than proper backstroke. Let your pelvis move. And you might even just start to flow a little bit faster. Moving from your fingernails through wrists, elbows, and into shoulders. That's amazing how if you have tight hands and clenched fingers and congested wrists, that will reflect in your shoulders. Yeah, I'm going to get you to flow up and over to one side, lateral stretch. And then tummy button to spine, flowing up and over to the other side. Beautiful. Tummy button to spine to come back into the center. Right hand up, left finger's just on your calf, stretch. Good. Other side. Beautiful. Just take both arms up. Float, palms forward, open your armpits. So it's the same position as we were doing on the ground, but now you're pushing your shins down as you stretch your fingertips up and out. Good, and then palms together, and just, if you can, sink down into a kneeling position. If that's not comfortable for you, stay up, yeah? If it's okay to come down, just pause here, let your shoulders slide down, take a moment, draw your rib cage in, so your back is pretty straight. Rib cage in, this area kind of opens up where your bra strap is. Imagine you've extended your bra strap, so it's just opening, flattening there in the center of your back. Taking a breath in and breath out. Feel an elongation between your ears and your shoulders on that exhalation. So as you breathe out, your shoulders just kind of sink down. Now on your next breath in, squeeze your bum muscles and let your elbows flow out to the side as you come up. And then we'll be really floaty as we do this. Come back down. And then breathing in and float up. And maybe lift your heart center. And then flow down, hands towards each other. And again, this time, let's just open up a little bit more with those fingertips stretching out. And then hands coming back into the heart center. One more. This time, float those fingertips almost straight up towards the ceiling. Big stretch, a little bit of a back bend. And then hands coming down. Take another pause. Hands at heart center. Feel the movement up and down your spine. The flow of chi, prana, up and down the spine. And then just slide your fingers out in front of you. Pause. And then come into upwards version cow. So when we do cat and cow, we're lifting the tail, tuck your toes, hands nice and wide. We're going to downward dog. So lift from your tail and your sitting bones. Lift from your tail and your sitting bones. So keep your knees bent. Keep your knees bent. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Nice wide fingers. Pressing down and slightly out with your hands. Pull your tail up and back as high as it will go. Sitting bones are spreading. Shoulders are rolling away from your ears. Give your head a shake and go with nice loose cheeks. Press your heels down one at a time. Sort of massage into the calf muscles. If you're wearing socks like I am, it's a bit slippy, so be careful. And just kind of walk your feet around your mat a little bit, so from side to side, and we want to massage into the ankles because the ankles get neglected. You might even push down. I'm just going to take these socks off because they're really slipping and sliding. So do a little deft maneuver. So we want to roll and dance. You might need to bend your knees across the midline of the body. If this feels too much on shoulders, come down into cat and cow for a moment. Rearrange yourself, lift your sitting bones, and then have another go coming into down dog. As we drop the knees across the midline, we go right up into the hips as well. So it's a great massage into the hips. I'm going to get you to bend your knees and walk your feet towards your hands. So you're kind of like a gorilla in those knees, toes in, heels out. And then let your tummy be really relaxed and just let it fold onto your thighs and drop your head. So get a nice stretch all the way through the back. Give your head a shake. Make some noise on the exhalation. And we're going to push the floor away. So you're pushing down with the feet, rolling through your legs and then up into your spine. And before you come all the way up, bend again through your knees, bum behind you. To push the floor away, you're flowing upwards like a fern, unfurling, and then just at the top, flow back down. Now breathe in as you unfurl, and then breathe out as your chest comes forward. Breathing out to come down. And as you come a bit higher, you might bring your arms up and keep them nice and fluid. Lower your fingers, elbows, shoulders. And then start to come to full extension and full release. Make sure your feet are really grounded, as if you have roots pushing from the soles of your feet right down through Mother Earth's crust, right down into the very center of the earth. And as you breathe in, you can feel energy from the earth center pulling up through your body, right up through your spine, right up through the crown of your head, right up to your fingers, beyond the crown of your head. You are a conduit of energy. And then a release. Good. This time breathing in, pausing here, and then soften. Again, I'm just going to turn around here. We're just flowing from side to side. Knees are wide. And your hands are loose. Your elbows are loose. Your shoulders are loose. Everything's just loosey-goosey. And you're shaking from side to side. Make sure your feet stay solid. Make sure your knees are bent. And your bum is behind you as you bend your knees. So there's no pressure on your shins, on your knees. Weight is in your heels. Oh, looks like my hair's chopped off. Sorry. I think my camera's dropped down. Helen, can you see my head or is it chopped off? You can. Good. Good. Give yourself a little jiggle and a rinse like this. Literally, you're vibrating your body. And then we're going to go into a triangle pose. It's a whole body stretch. And I'm going to get you to really tune into the prana, the feeling of tingling underneath your skin surface. So feet stay about 1 meter wide, about 1 meter here, and then turn both feet to the right. Keep your legs pretty straight. Come into this so we don't compromise the sacrum. We roll that back hip forward. So like a train wheel, but like that. And then stretch your fingertips out, rolling that hip forward, and then just drop your hand wherever it lands. So it might be a knee, thigh, shin, doesn't matter. And then we're just going to stack. So same action as when we're on all fours. Elbow down, elbow up. We'll pause here. Shoulder on top of shoulder here. You probably feel quite a stretch just on your inner thigh. You're pushing down and out with your feet. So it's like you're splitting your mat between your feet. Chin is in. Now imagine you have a broom handle or a rod going from the crown of your head through your skull, down through your neck, through your spine, right out through your tail. So just going, this feels nice and straight. And then your shoulders are just swiveling around the spine. And maybe arm up, see if that feels okay. This back hip keeps rolling forward. And then I'm going to get you to float your fingers and your arms. And with the chin tucked in, just a gentle release of the head down, very gentle. I'm just going to pause here. So the fingers are down. The head is, chin is drawn in, head is resting. Breathing in, breathing out. And then bend into that front knee. Look down at the ground, swivel your head. And then we push the floor away and you roll up. So the body just responds to that pressure down. It flows upwards. Turn your feet to the other side. Same thing, you're splitting your mat. Roll that back hip. Stretch the fingers out. Drop the hand wherever it lands. Fingers on shoulders, drop the elbow. Swivel, draw the elbow up behind you. You're swiveling around that solid, straight center. Fingertips Maybe coming up, if that's okay. If your shoulder's not happy, hand on hip instead. And then we'll float. And then floating all the way up and down. Stretching out through fingers. Going right up into your neck. Be very gentle. This can be quite a strong stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. And turn. Looking at the ground. Bend that front knee. Hands on either side of that front foot. And you're just going to gently and as fluidly as possible come back into a downward dog. Bending the knees. Sending those sitting bones up and back. Spreading the sitting bones. Stretching the spine. Breathe in. And as you breathe out with a bit of noise, see if you can sink those heels down, but keep your sitting bones lifted. Like that. Good. Dropping down onto your knees. Send yourself back into that extended child. Good. And then we're going to come onto our backs, but I'm going to get you to use your buffy blanket or your bolster to roll along your spine. So if you've got your bolster, you might need a brick or another pillow to support your head. So what I'm going to do is have this rolled up blanket underneath my spine, and then bum is kind of sliding off the end. Yeah, so if this doesn't feel comfortable, you might have to slide another blanket underneath your bottom. So we want to have the spine supported, a bit of an opening around the neck, yeah, a bit of opening here, and then if we can, arms out, or maybe even above the head, so that the spine feels like it's being lengthened, but we're getting a very subtle stretch here in these pectoral muscles. And we're going to spend about 5 or 6 breaths here, maybe 10. Mouth open. So a mouth breathing exercise. I like to take knees out to the side and feet towards each other. If that feels too much though, you just put your knees wherever it feels okay. Okay, so we're mainly looking at doing an exaggerated rib cage opening, spine lengthening, pectoral muscle softening, restorative, sort of Supta Baddha Konasana, but not really, a bit of an adaptation. Open your mouth and go. Slow, deep breath in. Slow, releasing breath out. Once you've done a couple, try doing a double breath in. So you breathe in, and then you take a bit more breath in. Long breath out. So the breath in, bit more breath in. See if you can imagine the little screws, the imaginary screws attaching the upper jaw to the lower jaw are being unwound a little bit more. So see if you can just slacken your lower jaw. for these last couple of breaths here. Gently closing your mouth. If you've got your feet together, take them back onto the ground. And then just roll yourself off your props. So your props out of the way for a moment. Take your feet wide on your mat. And then drop your knees to one side. So we're doing a wide knee, wide foot twist. Now this top knee, gently kind of press the inside of the knee downwards and see if you can turn your head to the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. Tummy button to spine as you roll to the other side. We'll go slowly to start off with. Gently press the inside of the left knee down. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll do a few, just a bit faster, pressing down, flowing up. See if you can spread your knees in the middle, apart. Pressing the inside of that left knee down, and then left knee leads, splitting the knees, and then right knee drops. Gently turning the head up and down. Beautiful. Coming back into the center, place both feet onto your mat, hands down beside you. Push those feet into the ground. Roll your pubic bone up, so massage the lower back and then roll back down. A little tip of the pubic bone down and a little arch through the back. And then press into the feet, flatten the back, pubic bone up, and then rolling in the other direction. Slight opening through the lower back. And then flatten the lower back, pubic bone up. This time we'll come up a bit higher, roll towards your shoulders, and flow back down. So you might even close your eyes here so you can really feel the vertebra of your spine mobilizing one at a time. Push your heels into the ground. And then coming down. I'm just going to take my blanket and place it under, so you could use your bolster. Going a bit lower tonight, underneath the pelvis. There's just a tiny lift of the pelvis. Tiny lift of the pelvis. And we're going to have those sitting bones spreading. And bring the knees up and out. Massage those feet around. Slow rotation of the feet. Spread your shoulders and see if you can get the back of your rib cage into the ground. So there's no arching through the mid back. So just around the bra strap area, we want to spread that area into the ground. Nice and wide and flattened upper back area. And then see if you can push your feet out a bit and bring your knees closer to your armpits. So you're opening up the groin, grabbing hold of the back of your knees, or maybe you can get your calves, maybe your ankles. If you can keep your shoulders on the ground and get your fingertips onto your feet, then do that. But only if you can keep the back of your shoulders on the ground, yeah? So we don't want to have any lifting up. Otherwise, hold on to another part of your legs. Relax the upper back into the ground. Soften the back of your pelvis. Consciously soften your pelvic floor and your jaw. They are fascially connected. So the the fascia just under the skin surface. All of this is connected. So the more you can relax here, the more all around here will start to release if there are tension patterns there. Breathe in, breathe out, and just see if you can rock yourself from side to side slightly. Little massage from side to side. That's the way. Very good. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little massage. And then push your feet up towards the ceiling. And just feel the weight of your legs dropping down into your pelvis. Put your arms up and let your fingers be really loosey-goosey, really soft. And just let your wrists be soft. And let the weight of your arms kind of push the back of your shoulders into the ground. So just hang here in space. And let your lower jaw be super relaxed. So you look really gormless. And then I'm just going to get you to do a tiny vibration through your feet and your ankles, just a very little vibration to start off with. And the same thing with your fingers and your wrists. So your hands and your wrist, a little vibration. And then see if you can make it a little bit bigger so that the vibrations goes down into your calves and into your forearms. And then even bigger, so it goes all the way down into your thighs and drops down through the elbows and into your upper arms. And you're just going to open your mouth and wriggle your jaw from side to side. Breathe in through the back of your nostrils, and as you breathe out, make some noise. So it's like this. And you want to make the exhalation as long as possible. And then pause, and then drop. And just slide, if you have got the prop still underneath your pelvis, slide it out, slide it underneath your thighs. Slide down, close your eyes, palms facing the ceiling, feet flopping out to the sides. And just see if you can feel the tingling of the life force, your vitality, it's your prana, your cells all flowing, the mitochondria of the cells, the energy flowing around your body as you have moved and squeezed and stretched and jiggled and rock and rolled, moved, slowly unwinding the mind and the body into stillness. Noticing how heavy your body feels. See if you can notice how heavy your eyeballs feel in the sockets. Notice how just focusing on how heavy your eyeballs feel encourages the mind to soften, encourages a stepping backwards into a deeper state of mindful rest. Soft muscles of the face. Notice if there's any residual tension between your eyebrows. And if so, can you soften the space between your eyebrows even more? Notice how if you release the muscles around the eyes, it's a bit easier to soften the jaw. If you soften the jaw, peeling off one more layer of the onion, breathing out and softening even more. You can send a ripple of relaxation like a conscious wave down through your body, shoulders, chest, arms and belly, pelvis, thighs, knees and calves, all the way down to your feet. And if you focus on your fingertips and the tips of your toes, you really feel into the sensations of your fingertips and your toes. It can ground you. It'll pull you back from thinking about the future, from worrying about what's happened in the past. And it will ground you into this moment in time, this present moment. Just pressing your thumb to your first finger, squeezing your toes a little bit. Press the thumb to your second finger and third finger, and as you do so, just gently squeeze your toes. Enjoying the stillness of your body, just this tiny bit of movement through your extremities. Squeeze your eyes. Lift the edges of your mouth. Gently move your head just a little bit from side to side. Good, and then slide your feet towards you, bending the knees, take the hands together, rub the palms together, create a bit of kinetic heat between your hands. Keep your face soft. Place the hands just over your eyes, very gently with your fingers, gently touching just around the eye sockets, feeling the energy from your hands onto your eyes. And slightly open the eyes and then and just slowly roll to one side. Take yourself into the fetal position for a moment. And then push the floor away and flow up. Good. One ankle in front of the other ankle. Fold yourself forward. Let your head be heavy. Breathe into the back of your body. Breathe out. And then flowing up. Lifting the vertebra one at a time, letting the shoulders lift and then drop into the back of the sockets. Lifting your head, placing your head bang on top of your neck. Just find that sweet spot where there's no holding whatsoever. Your head feels like it's just suspended perfectly on top of your neck. Take the hands together at the heart center. Making a moment to acknowledge yourself for coming and starting your week as you mean to go on. Just being very present in your body, feeling comfortable in your body. The love and light in me bows to the love and the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.